Hello and welcome to Drunken Photoshop. I'm Matt Gill, and today is text, typography, and other things that suck Richard. The reason I say that because illustrators and typographists are fucking crazy. This shit is boring, it sucks, I hate it. But I'm going to teach you what separates an amateur from a professional in this field, and just quick tips that are going to change your text from looking like crap to making it look really nice and shine, you know? But before we get into that, I just want to go over these text effects that I created for you guys. It's in the description. Download it, have fun. I just created 8 effects: Cocoa, Future, Chrome, Neon, Inset, and Bubble, Gold, and Chroma. So I went over these, I created these 8 effects, use them to your content. If you're like, wow, this kind of looks like a donut, doesn't look like chocolate, you go in there, double click, and then you set the bevel emboss, and you're gonna turn off like a texture probably, right? There we go. Now we have a nice smooth text and it looks like a baby's bosom. Get rid of that. And we're gonna go ahead and do a tutorial. Now I created this over the weekend, wanted to create something very simple, but to get the point across for a athletic club, Sons of Valor. It was a little program they're doing. We're gonna recreate this. It's gonna demonstrate some things that we're gonna use in the character panel as well as in the type work panel. We're not gonna be worrying about glyphs, but please note, if you're ever opening up a font and you're looking for something, open up the glyphs panel, and then you're gonna find some nice characters you may have not ever otherwise found. Use them, have fun with them. That's something that not many people take advantage of, and it's there. All right, so let's go ahead and start with something new. I'm gonna grab our Sons of Richard text. Now, here's something that I have not shown many people. If we were to take this text, right, and we have set to 0. This is the font, Sons of Richard. Let's make it more symmetrical. You know, we want 4 characters on the right versus 7 characters. So Sons of Dick. Dick is short for Richard. So we got Sons of Dick, and we want to bring this together, not have all this space in between the characters. So we're going to select this text, hit Control T, and that will bring up your character panel. We're going to set the tracking to -50. It's going to bring this text in. It's going to make it look like one unit, like it belongs together. Now we're going to notice, or you may not notice, and this is what separates amateurs from professionals, that there's spacing between certain characters is larger than other characters. Like, see, if I had A and a V, right? Look at the spacing between this A and V versus the O and the F. There's a lot more here. So what I would do is I would take my kerning and I would -50. And now it matches, and it's a lot closer, and it's much better. So what we want to do with this is we want to come in here and we want to match the space. We want to go across, we want to find something that doesn't touch but brings it together, makes it one unit. And as you do that, I mean, look at that D and I space, that's a lot. So we come in -50. Oh, a little bit too much, just subtle, more subtle. You don't want to go overboard with it. That's really nice. That is really nice. So it comes across, we got Sons of Dick, and it's starting to look like one unit. Now, as you saw in the example, we had a nice small of. Now I could just duplicate the text and have this one say of, duplicate it again, have this one say Dick, and then I place it and I size down the of a little bit different. We're not going to do that. What we're going to do instead, just to teach you the tools, we're going to take this up, we're going to size it down. Let's make it half the size of. A little small, that's fine. We're going to change the baseline shift. And if you just use your mouse wheel, you can scroll up. And that's what I'm doing here. 25, too much, probably 22, not 23. Trust me, as a graphic designer, you'll never be satisfied. So I'm just going to leave it here for demonstration. Now we got Sons of Dick, and this of create some contrast. Sons of, you know, of is not an exciting word, but sons is an exciting word. Dick is an exciting word, so this is nice. We're gonna come up here and we gotta let them know what this organization is. So we'll call this Drunken Photoshop. That's this organization. But this is not the big part. It's Sons of Dick. That's what I'm pushing. That's the marketing. So we're gonna set this down smaller. All I did was hit Control T without the text being selected, and then I hit Alt Shift in order to size it from the middle. If I just hit Control D and I hit Shift, it's going to size it from whichever corner I select. So by holding Alt I can now size it from there. Beautiful. So this doesn't have as much importance, so you don't want it to be as thick either. So we set the light. I'm using a font called Tico. Bring it down here. Yeah, we can go even smaller even. Now, one thing I like to do with small text and logos is actually add spacing. So if I set this, 200 is fine actually. Now we can go smaller, but it has a larger presence, you know? It's pretty nice. So what I'm gonna do is give this some sort of shape, you know? This is too flat. There's no excitement to it. You know, we'll add the lines and all that, but it's still like there's no excitement to it. So that's when we come in with this text work tool. And by the way, notice how I have this faux bold selected. You can't use these effects with the warp tool. It's fine. So go in here. I'm going to set it to arc lower. And what that's going to do is it's going to make this text follow a line and distort it. So it just. I'm just going to lower that effect. Instead, I'm going to pull it up. Minus. We'll make it subtle. Trust me, subtle is better. Now this nice little subtle effect, as we can see in the example here, I have it going in Sarge Athletics. Bam! It's a really nice curve. So Drunken Photoshop gets that curve. It creates some dynamics to this. It's very nice. It's sort of like when you're playing music and you don't want everything to sound the same. Some notes you play a little bit lighter. It's the same concept here. So we're just going to create 2 bars. We're going to make sure they're centered to Sons of Dick. Bam. Look at that. That's nice. Okay, so we're starting to get along here. We got Sons of Dick. We want to add some more lines there. Excuse me, I have had a lot to drink today because this is my least favorite type of tutorial to do. There's nothing exciting about text. It's my least favorite thing to do. And 1, 2, 3. All I can do, 1, 2, 3, is drink through it. So we got something exciting here. If you wanted to create a little effect like this, you know, I'm going to show you the Grunch part. We'll include that in the tutorial. It's not part of it, but we're going to do it. So say you grab a nice texture. You want to make sure it's on white, and I'll show you why. White, you want all these black dots, and you want to copy that image. Make sure you have the copyrights to it, because I did before I grabbed it. Hit Control M, and that's going to bring up your curves. And what I'm looking at, you see this giant curve level here? These are your whites. These are like a whole gray area right here. So you want to bring your white layer here, and now it makes all those grays white. So now you have a nice difference. Now I can make these blacks a little bit blacker. They pop up. I'm gonna hit select color range. This is clever what I'm gonna do here, all right? I'm gonna select the blacks. I drop that. I'm gonna hit hold shift, and I'm gonna click a nice little black over here. You see these dots? You can start to see it. I'm gonna include the fuzziness a little bit. What that does is just includes a little bit more grays based on the color you selected. So now I got these nice dots. I'm gonna hit Control Shift I. It's gonna invert the selection. Now if I go to Drunken Photoshop here and I hit Mask tool, you now see this nice little texture, and I'm just gonna hit Control and click on that, and then I'm gonna do the same thing, hit Mask here, and now we have this nice little texture. And if we were to really do this right, instead of doing it one by one by one, we'd put all these into a folder, mask, and look at that. Now it's applied to all the layers inside that mask. It's nice. Go ahead, use these text tools. Understand that the sizing in between the characters is what's going to make it look more professional versus not. And that if you take your text tool and you apply these little warp effects, do it subtly, but keep them there. It's going to add some excitement, some dynamics to your text, and it's going to be able to bring out something nice. And eventually, you know, as you work up to it, you get something a little bit more refined. This is Matt Gill. I've been drinking platinum vodka, in case you're curious, for tonight, and I appreciate you watching it. Please share, like, subscribe, mash that subscribe button, and share with your friends. And let me know if there's something else you want to learn. I got 13 years of knowledge up here. I'm ready to share all that with you. Thank you. See you later. Till next time.